What's going on, everyone? So we got the first little teaser. It's just like a, 12-second little teaser for the upcoming Evil Dead Burn, the next installment in the Evil Dead franchise. I'm excited for it. I love the franchise. I mean, even dating back, to Bruce Campbell and the originals, and they've kind of taken more of a darker tone, where the originals were more of that comedic tone in a lot of ways, right? And some of the kind of one-liners, and you think of Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 and then Army of Darkness, and kind of the wackiness and over the top, where we've seen, with the remake of Evil Dead into, all the other, Evil Dead Rise, Evil Dead Burn, all that. Like, it's just becoming this more darker, more brutal, more gory style of just horror franchise. But I also think it's funny. I want to kind of combine two topics into this video. Obviously, the Evil Dead Burn side of things, where again, I am genuinely excited for this film. Big fan of the franchise. I hope that we get a really good film. Evil Dead Rise, I thought was good. I didn't really like the end where they all like combine in like Transformers and or Power Rangers, right, with the Megazord. Like, or Voltron for those that are older, right? Like, I wasn't really a fan of that. But overall, I thought it was a good film. The remake, you could argue, is one of, if not the best remakes of a franchise in maybe ever, right? And so I do think that there's a lot of just excitement and burn. See what I did there? For this upcoming Evil Dead Rise or Evil Dead Burn. But the other part that I want to tie into this is we got an Evil Dead Burn teaser before we got a Scream 7 teaser. Evil Dead Burns, to put this in perspective, right? Evil Dead Burns comes out July 24th, 2026. We're almost a year out from Evil Dead Burns, right? Like, whatever it is, 10 months or whatever. Right? We're like half that from, or less. We're like 5 months out from Scream. And we haven't even gotten the teaser yet. We haven't gotten any marketing, really. I mean, they did like the Reese's Day and they did the Fortnite collab, right? But like, that's just for Ghostface. And like, yeah, it's at the time of the film, but like, like, when are we gonna get an actual teaser? When are we gonna get, I've even said, like, I don't mind if we don't have to get a full trailer right now. Obviously, I'd love it. We could get it. We're in spooky season. But the creators for Evil Dead seem to understand that, like, hey, this is spooky season. Let's start getting the word out. Right? And so we get a teaser for Evil Dead Rise that comes out, 4 months, 5 months after Scream. And yet we still don't have anything for Scream. Like again, in the Evil Dead Burn little teaser, it's literally nothing. It's somebody, you got to be careful how to describe it, but literally just kind of hacking away, and you kind of know what they're probably getting rid of or removing from the deadite, right? Like, we all kind of, and it's basically all it is. It's simple, nothing crazy, right? But it grabs your attention. It's something exciting. It gets you pumped for those that are fans of that franchise, fans of the horror space, right? Like, it's what you want, right? It's fun, it's engaging, gets the conversation going, kind of buys you a little time to now jump into the next wave. We haven't even gotten anything like that for the Scream yet. Like, the closest thing we've gotten from like the actual studio is, again, like the title card, which people were excited for and lost their minds for and all that stuff. So it's like, can we get something for Scream? It's just, you're in spooky season. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, right? Like, you don't have to do a full-fledged 2-minute trailer. It could be as simple as, like, a little 15-second teaser. Right? Like, you look at like the marketing that they did for Scream 5. They just went wild. Now, the trailer and stuff like that came out, later. But you got a bunch of teasers. You got a bunch of collaborations. You got a bunch of, little, like posters, like, right? They were collaborating with like creepy duck art and stuff like that to just bring a bunch of posters and stuff. They did a lot of things to really kind of, get people excited. It was like every other day we were getting something new, and it was just like simplistic stuff. But it kept the party going, right? It kept us excited. It kept, all of the content creators and just people that like to post on social media and all that stuff. It allowed that train to keep going, right? And so, I look at something like, the Evil Dead Burn and Scream. Scream is a bigger franchise. I mean, you talk about one of the franchises on the Mount Rushmore of horror, right? Like, but it's just Evil Dead Burn, and maybe that's why, right? Maybe they are looking at it and know, like, hey, we want to have a great marketing campaign. We really want to build up towards the actual film, just because it isn't as like it's a more specific type of horror, right? It's one that not everybody loves, right? Like because it can be a little over the top, like with the gore and all that stuff. I again love them, but I get it's not for everybody. With Scream, yeah, it's kind of taking a darker tone, but that's more kind of just like, popcorn in a lot of ways. Sit back, watch some crazy kills, things like that, the whodunit element. Right? Like, I just think that maybe that's the case. Maybe Evil Dead Burns is looking at this like, hey, let's really kind of, gear up the marketing so people know, and we kind of build up the hype between now and then. And then, now we're ready to release the full trailer and then a second trailer, so on and so forth. Right? Where maybe Scream is looking at it as like, we trust the brand, we trust Ghostface, we trust the Scream franchise to know that like it's not going to, we don't have to worry about, people filling butts in seats, right? They're going to come, as long as it's a good movie, people will talk about it, people will be stoked about it. Where Evil Dead might look at it as we have like a little bit of a higher hill to climb than say a Scream. I mean, that could be a possibility. But again, it just be nice to get a little teaser. I'm excited for the Evil Dead Burn, but big Scream guy. I mean, I've built this channel on the back of Scream in many ways. It'd be nice to kind of, get, have both, right? Give me a little teaser and then follow that up. And look, it's still, at the time of this video posting, it's October 18th. A lot can happen. A lot could change. This upcoming week, we could, Tuesday or Thursday, I think is when Paramount usually does their trailers. So maybe Tuesday or Thursday, they end up dropping something, and it's like, boom, here we go. We have, the Scream 96 coming out soon in theaters. So maybe they'll kind of start pumping and ramping things up. But it'd be nice to, get a Scream, like I said, even teaser. It doesn't even have to be the full trailer. You don't have to do anything crazy. Just give us a nice little teaser of like, it could just literally be Ghostface, right? Like charging at somebody or something, right? Whatever, right? Like, keep it simple. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? First off, do you love the idea of Evil Dead Burn? Do you think like, it's not my cup of tea. It's not my type of movie. Are you kind of like me where it's like, hey, yeah, that's great. I love it. But where's my Scream trailer or where my Scream teaser? How do we get a Evil Dead teaser trailer before we got a Scream 7 teaser trailer? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.